This is the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants podcast, a show to help independent UK-based HR consultants get a pipeline of perfect fit, high-paying clients without expensive adverts, time-consuming social media activities, or energy-sapping and monotonous networking meetings. I'm your host, Nick Paninsky, author of How to Land Your Dream Client, a book which explains everything you need to know to get every sale and client you ever want. And if that sounds interesting, then make sure to grab your copy from the influential consultant website today. That being said, let's get into today's show. Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants with me, Nick Paninsky. Today's episode, we are tackling a question I get asked all the time. Should I pay for LinkedIn Sales Navigator? And on the surface, that seems like a very simple question with a very simple yes or no answer. But the reality, like most things in marketing and in HR, is that it depends. It depends on what you want. It depends on how you're working. It depends on the systems and processes you have in the background. So in this episode, I am going to share with you. I'm going to share with you when investing in Sales Navigator is a good idea and it's absolutely fine, when it's the wrong answer, plus what to do instead if you want predictable, scalable lead flow. So let's get into it. Now, let's start off with the positives because there are loads of them, right? LinkedIn Sales Navigator can be super powerful, right? You get those advanced filters and you can save leads and accounts, which really means that normally when you're on LinkedIn and you search for, let's say, for example, HR consultants, and you end up with hundreds of thousands, whatever, wherever. And you can kind of filter it down on location. But the LinkedIn Sales Nav features really scale down, right? If you've seen this in at work, if you've seen this in practice, you will see the LinkedIn Sales Navigator filters are super powerful. They leave, it's like LinkedIn on Power 11, right? And then equally, you get to save those leads and those accounts in a specific place so that you can then work those leads, work those accounts. And it's a lot easier to manage rather than, say, for example, you found a lead that you like and you add it to your bookmarks or you copy and paste it into your CRM. It's a very manual process. LinkedIn Sales Nav, it speeds that up for you. It just captures all those leads and accounts in one spot for you. And then I guess overall, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's much faster and more organized than a normal LinkedIn. That's why it's so powerful. So yes, if you know what you're doing and you have a good outreach rhythm and you're happy to be hands-on with your outreach, then Sales Navigator can absolutely help you get more leads, more clients, more sales, more profits. It really can. It's a very powerful tool. But that's a very specific set of circumstances, right? And for most people, for you potentially listening along, that's where this falls apart, right? Because if you don't know what you're doing or you don't want to be so hands-on with your outreach, you're not going to get as many results as you are looking for. And basically, what I want to say is LinkedIn Sales Nav will basically multiply whatever you're getting on LinkedIn Normal. So if you are getting results on LinkedIn Normal, great. Sales Navigator is definitely for you. But if you're not getting results on LinkedIn Normal, Sales Navigator ain't going to help you. So I guess here's what happens when people sign up for Sales Navigator, just to bring this to life for you, right? When somebody signs up for it, they search for a few people, they send out a few messages. And if they don't know what they're doing, then, as I say, LinkedIn Sales Navigator will simply multiply that. No replies, no calls, just another LinkedIn tab gathering dust. And it's not because LinkedIn Sales Navigator is bad, right? It's because it can't fix the real problem. Sales Navigator will help you find people, but it won't help you convert them. That's the problem. So if you don't know who you're targeting, what to say, how to follow up, how to move that prospect into a lead, into a client, into a sales call, you'll just end up busier. And busyness is not the same as growth. And here's the thing, even when you do know what you're doing, right? Sales Navigator has a built-in limit. It only works when you're there. So you have to be active. You have to be searching, messaging, following up. And the moment you get busy with client work, your lead gen takes a hit, right? It stops. And that's fine because that's normal, right? You have that client work, or you go on holiday, or you have other priorities. Lead gen will get deprioritized. I understand that. So if you are fine with that, if you enjoy the outreach and you're happy with that bit of feast or famine, that's perfectly fine. LinkedIn Sales Navigator, that can serve you well. But if you want to grow confidently, consistently, and with clarity, you need something better. If you want all those leads, client sales, and profits that you think you're going to get with LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you need something better. You need something that works when you're not in the room. Now, I do want to circle back and tell you how I know all this, because I invested in LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I got taken in by those adverts. I wanted to try it because you get 1 month free or 1 month for half price or whatever it is, right? And I saw all my friends who were using LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and they had that professional LinkedIn Sales Navigator, profile. And I was like, ooh, that looks great. I'll have a bit of that. And so I guess, when I first used LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I thought it was going to be the missing link. So I built those lists, I sent those messages, I felt busy, but I didn't grow. Nothing changed. It wasn't like some sort of magic bullet that got me all the leads, clients, sales, and profits. And it wasn't the tool's fault, it was mine. I didn't have a proper system. I didn't know what I was doing. But once I built that system, a niche, an offer, a landing page, a lead magnet, nurture emails, message flow to turn a prospect into a lead, well, Sales Navigator became much more effective. And that's when it started to make sense. Now, if you want to know about how to do all that, if you want to know how to get that niche, the offer, the landing page, blah, 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 then there is, you should go and check out a copy of my book, The Complete Guide to Building a 70K HR Consultancy, because there are a script and a step-by-step process that you can use to generate prospects, turn them into leads, turn them into clients, and have it happen intentionally and on repeat, and not by luck or guesswork. Either way, here's the truth for you. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is absolutely fine. If you know what you're doing and you're happy to be hands-on, it's perfectly fine. It is much better than LinkedIn Normal. You'll always be hunting for those leads, but it can work. You will get the leads, you will get the clients, you will get the sales and the profits. But if you don't know what you're doing, or you want to scale without having to chase every lead yourself, then you need something better, right? You need a system that brings in leads and clients even when you're not there. You need a system that replaces hustle with consistency, with predictability, with accuracy. You need a system that helps you build a business that you control. That's how you stop being a hunter. That's how you start being a farmer. That's how businesses scale. They have systems in place that generate leads and clients for them on repeat, on demand, without them being out there hunting for every lead and client possible. Now, if you want to see what that looks like, if you're done relying on manual chasing and you want to discover the kind of lead gen that keeps working when you're not in the room, then keep the 2nd of December free, because I'm running a live workshop session called One Funnel, Endless Leads. And in that session, you'll discover exactly how to get this system that generates leads and clients for you on repeat, on demand, consistently and repeatedly. You'll also discover how to build it into your business so that you can finally stop hunting and start farming. And then you will have control of your leads and your clients and your sales and your profits. So hopefully that makes sense. Overall, I guess the message that I want to take away, that I want you to take away with you, is that LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a fantastic tool if you know what you're doing and you accept its limitations. But if not, if you want something better, then keep an eye out for the December the 2nd event that I'll be running. In the meantime, I hope this episode was useful for you. Thank you for listening along. Please share it with anybody that you think might get use of it. And in the meantime, as ever, get marketing, because without marketing, there's no sales. And without sales, there's no business. So get marketing. Hey there, and thanks for listening to the Marketing Made Easy for HR Consultants podcast. If you've enjoyed the show, then please consider taking a minute to help us grow by sharing the episode with a friend or colleague, or by leaving a positive review on podchaser.com. And make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the upcoming episodes if you haven't done so already. I've been your host, Nick Paninsky, and if you've got any questions or you want to know more about today's topic, then feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'd be delighted to hear from you. See you next time.